That guy forgot his pillow. I brought a pillow.
Did you actually?
Oh yeah, dude. I brought a pillow. I was like, I'm going for comfort. I don't care. I mean, dude, I had a pillow, and it was actually my pillow. It was a good comfy one.
So I don't know. I thought we were going to be staying in a tent for the 4 day assessment, but the cadre they kind of pulled it together kind of quickly. So we're very limited on the ranger cadre that we can have on base. So I believe there was only 3 of them on base that could actually work the actual assessment course,
Hmm.
and they also run a course called TLC.
Yeah,
It's the troop leading course.
I was gonna say it's not the tender love and care course.
Oh no, not at all. But I mean, that would be nice. I mean, if the Air Force had that, I'd be attending.
Well,
But
that's if anybody saw earlier in the video there, those push-ups. Like when we take our regular PT test, yeah, our NCOs count them and all that, or your leadership does. But you saw the ranger instructor there kind of tell them, yeah, none of those count. So they are very, very particular in their push-ups and sit-ups. Everything has to be perfect. I mean, you're not breaking records here.
yeah,
So
and you got 2 minutes, so you can't just blow them all out once unless you're just a physical beast.
yeah, and the bad part is now that you're doing fully extended push-ups and you have to show that you're extended, now they feel like really slow push-ups and it just takes forever, and then you're burnt out really quick.
Is this the smoke sessions that you were talking about?
Yeah, ours involved a good bit of running. They're pretty much walking now. That didn't happen.
So I guess they jump right into the land navigation course. I believe if pre-rangers run the same way, I guess you get that full week of testing on physicality. I don't know. Did they test you on all your uh, the dismantling of the 240 and 249? Like, did they time you and everything, and then the planning of the Claymore?
Yeah, so we went through classes for that. It wasn't tested. Now in
Yeah.
range, it's pass or fail, so don't fuck up. But the way they implemented that is we had it was a big. I mean, it was freezing cold at night. You ran through mudded trenches, and then you jumped into the water, and then you had to come out, disassemble. And it was pretty much a stress, not a stress shoot, but a stress obstacle, pretty much.
Yeah.
Land nav. I remember land nav was probably like 2 in the morning, and we got there, and they're like, "All right, plot your points. You got 10 minutes." I'm like, "Cool. I got 10 minutes. I'm gonna be, have everything neat and organized, and have my red light on." Next thing you know, they're saying, "Get the fuck out of our AO. Get out of here." So I just kind of jumble everything up and
Yeah. Just
run
stuff it
into
down
the
in your
park.
pocket and go.
Yeah, so I mean, I went to the road, I looked at the map, and I was like, "Yeah, that looks right," and I ran that one. And then I, jumped into the bushes, and I mean, for the first 3 hours of the morning, I was on the opposite side of the map than what I thought I was. I didn't orient the map, which is the first thing you want to do. I just kind of looked at the road, and I was like, "Yeah, that looks right." So,
So one thing I wanted to ask you about was I'm gonna go back. Um, as you can see, they were doing their squad attack.
mhm.
I didn't know if you had the chance to do much of that at all.
No, really like field tactics. It was all kind of jumbled up.
Teaching.
Yeah, and teaching and not a lot of time. So I mean, all they pretty much had time for was the testing portion, and in between that testing portion, you're getting smoked pretty much the whole time.
Wow.
You went back to your barracks is the time that they didn't fuck with you.
Hmm.
Uh, you got away, and they kind of did their thing. But when you had to be at a certain place, you were there, and then that time began.
Yeah, I know. For us, the only thing that we got to do, we did pretty much the same exact thing. And of course, that they let us go late at night because we didn't have the tent set up. Like I said, I don't know if it was because of COVID or just because they were lacking on trying to pull this thing together. But and it's hard for them because they put this stuff out and we're very limited on personnel. And I mean, there's not many people that want to do Ranger School in the Air Force. It's just not conceivable to a lot of airmen. So no one really wants to do it. So they're kind of going off of this thing is like, hey, if we get this course going, how many people do you even think was going to show up? And out of everyone on base that they put it out to, there was only 20 something of us that wanted to do the course. But like when you're like 11 Bravo, I mean, you go up to every single person and they're like, hey, do you want to go to Ranger School? And then at least 50% of whoever is in that squadron probably wants to go.
Yeah, I mean, when we got asked, it was pretty much because we were on state active duty orders for the riots, and they went up to a couple of us and they're like, hey, we think you'd be pretty good for Ranger School. Do you want to give it a shot, for the company? And we're like, well, fuck it, we'll give it a shot. So it wasn't like a want to or, needed to. It was pretty much kind of a last minute thing. Like, yeah, well, I'll give it a shot. If I pass it, I pass it. If not, so be it. Mm-hmm. But even the first day, I think there was, well, let me think, 1, 2, 3. There was 4. Yeah, let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 4 of us that ended up going. And so they told us, we went up to Fort Indiantown Gap. A lot of people know where that's at. And got up there, and our orders told us to go to this building. So we go to this old looking church, and we're sitting there, and this is for like an hour. And we're past like the deadline for an hour. And we're looking at each other like, were we the only dumbasses that like showed up to this? Or, where's everybody at? So another like half hour rolls by. So we're an hour and a half past this now. And so we call, and our CO picked up, and he goes, what's going on? And we said, well, we've been sitting here for like an hour and a half. We're supposed to be here. It's just the wrong day. And he goes, I'll have somebody come pick you up. So another half hour rolls by, and now this is 2 hours. So we're like, I don't know what's going on. He's not coming to pick us up. So we call another person, and he goes, oh, it's at this building. So we drove around the base for a while, finally found it, and we go to get out, and we run up, and one of the cadre comes out, and he goes, who the hell are you guys? And we said, we're supposed to be here. He goes, it's 2 hours late. We're like, yeah, our orders told us to be at this building. We showed him. And he goes, man, I'd love to let you in if you knew the Ranger Creed. And we
oh, no.
Like, well, I don't fucking know it. And no, I said, I got it in my Ranger book in the truck.
Oh, no.
My buddy's like, I think I know most of it. And he goes, wow, fuck. He goes, get your shit, put it out there, and then get it in the classroom. So we're there, and we went through the classes, jumped in late, looked like a bunch of idiots, and then the smoke session began after that. When we get out and they dump your bag 52,000 times, and you got to organize it so everybody look.
Did they make you do a ruck layout?
Oh yeah, everything that was in your bags, they dumped. I mean, like you dumped it yourself, and it didn't matter, your personal shit, your bags, like my pillow and all that crap, just dumped it. I mean, then you put it back, dump it again. I mean, this happened about 12 times. And then you'd have to organize everything out. And then finally they read off the list, of like what you need to have. The funniest thing was we had another guy that was with us. And before we went there, he goes, he never got any issued gear. He came from an MP.
Oh, no.
He used to be infantry, then he went to MP, then he went back to infantry. So he came from a different unit, had no gear whatsoever, like barely anything. He had a ruck, that's pretty much it. But we're holding up stuff, and his name was Martinez. And they go past, and they're like, Martinez, you don't fucking have it? He goes, no. The bad part was, before that, we had called, and the guy that was the head of this said, oh, you're fine. You tell him just to bring whatever he has, he'll be fine. And we're sitting there holding our shit up. And they go, fucking Martinez again. He doesn't have anything apparently.